welcome to Crush Your Mountain Wellness. I'm your host, Henry Gaskins, here to inspire you to conquer life's challenges and create the wellness that you deserve. As we step into the new year, many of us are embracing the concept of New Year's resolutions, whether it's improving our health or building our dreams or just breaking free from old habits. For some individuals, the decision to quit drinking is a bold and transformative choice that can reshape not only your health, but your entire life. Today, we're diving into this powerful journey with none other than Austin Martinson, the founder and CEO of ARM Brands. Austin is a dynamic serial entrepreneur who's helping others to go from moron to millionaire with the innovative resources and tools his network provides. But beyond his business success, Austin has tackled a deeply personal mountain, his battle with alcohol and his courageous journey to sobriety. In this episode, Austin shares what it takes to commit to sobriety as a New Year's resolution and beyond. We'll explain why he made the decision. We'll explore his challenges, his victories, and his discipline required not only to quit, but to thrive. Whether you're looking to break free from alcohol or fuel your journey to success, Austin's story is proof that transformation is possible when you dedicate yourself to the climb. We'll also talk about 75 Hard and what that means, what crucial role it played. Also, we'll discuss this one point: how you need the support that will make you great in your endeavors. By the way, something that's coming up with both of us, a collaboration that's set into the close at hand future, not too far flung, but a possible retreat that's going to take place out there in the islands, the Caribbean, St. Thomas. So are you ready to crush your mountain and start living the year strong? Let's dive in. Now, folks, look behind Austin. He wakes up to that every day. It is cold here in North Carolina right now.
It's cold here too. It's like 80.
Oh my God, 80.
I'm wearing a long sleeve.
You need a coat. You need a coat. I'm sorry. You're gonna catch a cold here.
We're all wearing pants and long sleeves. It's chilly this winter.
Yeah, man. Oh, listen, man. We've been through a number of different challenges, and I know that. Can you share the moment when you realized that what was holding you back, and what inspired you to take the first steps towards recovery?
Let's think here. So I guess the first, I would say there's a lot of moments that you start looking back, a lot of retrospection. I mean, we all do it every year, right? We got New Year's resolutions. We think back of the year, how we want to improve and all that. But I guess referring mostly to what I'm doing nowadays, and especially getting rid of alcohol, I would say, which is about 3.5 years ago-ish. There was a time when I was actually dating someone, and she kept saying that all my friends, what did she say? Oh, man. Something about them being shallow and just they weren't there, and there weren't people. So then, I ignored it. I was drinking, partying with them, and I was like, these are my best friends, dude. We got everything. Mm-hmm. And then, after I went and met with some entrepreneurs at a big retreat in Tampa, and we did a challenge called 75 Hard. If you haven't heard of it, it's 75 days straight of kind of like working out twice a day, diets, all this kind of stuff, no cheat days. There's like 10 different things. So definitely the hardest challenge I've ever done. And I would have never done it if I didn't have 20 other people doing it with me, competitive, making sure I'm accountable and doing all the things. And during that time is when my eyes were open. And you start looking around going, these are my friends. Huh. 4 nights a week we go out to bars, and that's pretty much what we do. We work, we make money. I made plenty of money. I owned houses and buildings all over the place. And you just kind of start going, is this really what this is it? And, and that thought just started growing and growing and growing until maybe 1.5 years ago. I was like, I am out. We're going on to do something else. And I launched my show, launched my free coaching, launched a bunch of other stuff. And at this point, I just teach everyone else. I'm teaching myself realistically. I'm just learning as much as I can and then putting on that knowledge out in the air and the public to whoever wants to take a hold of it, and hopefully inspiring a lot of people to go and change their lives and do bigger, better things.
Yeah, that's amazing. Your friends. The old saying in the in the self improvement space is, "You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang around the most." You
Mm-hmm.
know, and so the Bible says it a little differently. It says bad association spoils useful habits.
Oh, good.
It also tells you do not follow the crowd. You see, so you learn these things, but now when you're able to move yourself away from those things, evidently that's part of what helps you to move towards sobriety. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced during your journey to sobriety, and how'd you overcome it? What would you say one of the bigger challenges were?
I would say in the sober lifestyle, one of the biggest challenges is finding out that you are not a good person either.
Wow.
When you
Wow.
finally quit drinking and you finally start living your life and you're like, oh, wow, okay, I'm not drinking, I'm doing this. A lot of this world is all based on financials, right? We all want to be rich. We all want to live that lifestyle. And so, while I'm partying with all these people and we were having 60-person dinners, 150-person parties. Social was great. Had tons of what I called friends then. Then you start realizing that they're kind of just, it's shallow. I remember when I started this awakening or whatever process, I don't like that word, but we're going to use it for now. I started looking at them and I was like, man, I've been drinking with you every weekend for the past year and a half, and I have zero idea what you do for work. I have zero. Do you even have kids? I don't even know if you have kids. I don't know who you are. All I know is what you drink. And that started becoming more and more common. I was like, man, I still don't even know what that person does. I was like, I see him on Friday night after 7 p.m. and Saturday night after 7 p.m. and I don't even talk to him at all until the next Friday. So you start kind of realizing, and then you're like, even your closest friends, you're like, what do? You drink, you wake up late, you go make some money, and then you just start partying some more. And so, it all kind of started setting in. And I still party all the time. I love it. It's great. I just do it sober and continue doing other things, inspiring people. Social activities are awesome. Getting together, celebrations, super important in your life. But I think the whole getting drunk is definitely done and gone. And it's hard to help others and inspire others when you're laying on the bathroom floor drunk.
That would be true. So let me ask you this question. Okay. What role did support come from? We're talking about your family. You said you had to move away from your friends, but evidently you had to replace them with the individuals who would support you. So what role did your support system play in terms of your recovery?
Yeah, so let's talk about the initial when I started going sober. So I had no plans on going sober. Right? There was, I had stopped, cut out shots. There was times I would drive because I would never drink and drive, so I was cutting back, and that was obvious. I was definitely cutting back, and people knew that. It was probably 2 or 3 years that I cut out shots and cut out. I think I even cut out hard liquor towards the end there. But doing that challenge, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then we all kind of dared each other into it. So there's 20 of us in this group chat. We woke up the next morning and we're like, okay, we're all going to go do 75 hard. Let's do it. And, without that support system, there's no way. It was the right amount of competitiveness. Okay, I did all the 10 tasks a day. I'm done for the day. And then looking going, oh no, I still got 7 more to do. I got to keep going. And, kind of jabbing each other a little bit oh, you're not even halfway done yet today, dude, what are you doing? But then also the support and the encouragement too, oh, hey, you did it, nice, all right, we're 30 days done, everyone, woohoo, good job. Or oh, Austin already got his picture done, hey, good job, Austin. So it's a really nice mix of competitiveness as well as encouragement. And so, but without that little group chat and those people in it, there's no way I would have made it through that 75 hard. And then after that, my family, alcoholism runs in our family. My dad is, I think, 8 years sober now. And again, I didn't even realize or think he was an alcoholic. And he just I feel like it was one day he goes, hey, I'm no longer drinking. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic and I'm recovering now. And I was like, oh, that's interesting news. Cool. Good for you, Dad. And then I have a brother who has not done anything about it and refuses to believe he's an alcoholic and has basically ruined his entire life and all of his relationships, and probably still drinks constantly. So I still like, even the first like year of being sober, I never really said I was sober. I was like, I'm just gonna stop drinking for a little bit. And I had like one of my good friends was getting married. I was like, at the wedding, I'll drink there. The wedding came. I hung out. I enjoyed. I did it. I explored everything. Like it wasn't. It never withheld me. And then after the wedding, I was like, oh, I didn't drink. Huh. All right. I'll drink at the next bachelor party. I'll drink there. Bachelor party comes. I'm hanging out with them just as much as they're all drinking, and we're all going to the clubs and hanging out and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't drink then either. Then I was like, I guess this is where I'm going to officially announce I'm sober. So it took me a little while to really accept it. And yeah, just kind of got to the point where I was like, I like right now, I think it would be hard for me to drink. I still get cravings. Almost everyone that doesn't drink talks about, oh, I wish I drank. I would love a drink right now. But when you actually think about it, it's kind of like, I'm staring at alcohol right now and I'm like, all of that looks horrible. The taste, everything, that it all just looks like poison to me now, which is thankful that it's not that easy for some people. But I'm very blessed that it took 75 days and then maybe 6 months after that to really, now I just view alcohol strictly as poison, which is helpful.
Well, that's very true, though, because alcohol is considered a neurotoxin. It does affect the brain. So our continued use of it would actually poison your brain. It could bring early onset dementia and a host of other illnesses. So that's true. We're glad of that. You're obviously a passionate and bright young man, and it's good to see you there. But you know who you remind me of in a lot of ways is Ed Milet. Have you heard that before?
Oh, I love Ed Milet. Yeah, he's one of my faves.
Yeah, yeah. Because Ed Milet's story, at least from his dad's aspect, is
Yes.
very similar.
Actually, yeah, I saw it was probably 3 years ago, maybe, in a big convention in Dallas, and he did his One More speech. And like his book One More doesn't talk too much about his dad, but that speech, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you have 45 minutes, you should definitely go watch that speech. All about,
definitely will check it out.
yeah,
I listened to him on the Apple podcast.
Nice. So he's
So
probably, I'm sure he's dropped something about it, but he has one specific speech he was doing in 21, 22, somewhere around there. And it's about the power of one more, doing one more thing, one more this. And then he starts leading into like one more day with your loved ones, one more day with your dad. He starts talking about his dad and the relationship they had. And then he went and like found all his dad's stuff in his attic. And it was just a list of names. And when he called them, they're like, oh yeah, that's my mentor. He helped me go sober. And there's like hundreds of names.
wow,
It's a powerful speech. I'm already tearing up just thinking about it. But yeah, Ed Milet is definitely a huge influence.
Yeah. So when it comes to that wellness space, man, when it comes to doing that now, you help other individuals to move
Definitely.
forward. Okay.
Definitely.
And you have a number of different venues that you do that with. In fact, one of them we're going to be working on ourselves as well. My company and yours will be teaming up on something as well. But now, here's my question, okay? What venues now are you helping individuals in to break through their own challenges? And what challenges do you find most common?
So there's a lot of things I'm doing now. So one of the big things I'm doing that I started probably about a year and a half ago, is my show. So I have a show called Millionaires Are Made. We focus on a different aspect of health: your social, spiritual, physical, financial. Each episode has its own topic. I bring 3 experts on it, and I force them to give out free knowledge and free tips. And then we come up with an action plan, a little 5-minute daily challenge so that you can work and practice and grow. That's probably one of my favorite things. I meet amazing people all over the world, all over their spectrums of beliefs. And so it's really fascinating. And that's a free show that we throw out that I love. And then I opened up. So I've been coaching for pretty much just businesses probably like the last 10, 15 years. But as I see more and more people asking this and that, I need help, I need this, I don't know this. And that's kind of where the show started, is as I travel the world and meet people, and I'm like, hey, this is a fact. I heard of that. I'm like, what? This is a fact. And you're like, oh, okay. And so that's where the show came, as I was like, everyone should just be sharing all these information. We should all, the whole world should know, have at least a basis of understanding of some sort of knowledge. So that's the kind of goal there. And then when people have one-on-one time, I now have free coaching. So I do about 2 hours every Monday and Friday of one-on-one growth sessions. So I open that up to anyone. It costs nothing. And then so I've been doing networking events and masterminds in Colorado, and now I just started them down here. So we do some networking events, and then we'll be opening up a free mastermind here just to help grow, teach people business, teach people small business, entrepreneurship, finance, investing, all these things that, like, even literally 2 days ago, I was at dinner with some random people at an event here and taught them about infinite banking. They didn't know what it was, and that's a little bit more advanced, but if the rich people are doing it and making millions of it, that should be open to anyone. And so we can go have a little episode like financial health and infinite banking. How do you do it? How do you be your own bank? And here's how it's done. All those little things like that I'm just like, I think everyone should know it. Everyone should be able to use it if they want. All these little tools and knowledge. And so that's kind of the goal of where I'm at now, is trying to educate as many people and as many things as possible.
What makes people struggle to get through their breakthroughs? In other words, to achieve those goals that they know that they can.
I would say it's mostly their mindset. They don't believe they can do it, or they don't act like they can do it. Action, I can tell you step by step how I've made $1 million businesses. I can literally lay it out and go, here, go do all this. That's how I've done it 5 different times. And everyone will be all excited. And people will say it's 100 steps. People will get through like step 10 and then they'll give up. Or they'll get through step 5 and get up. Or they'll just talk about it with their friends for a year and a half and say, I've got the step to $1 million business. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then a year and a half later, everyone's like, hey, what happened? And they just never got around to it. But a lot of that comes from self-doubt, not believing you can do it. And so then you never end up doing it because you're just like, oh, it's a waste of time. I'm going to talk about it, but actually doing it is a little scary. It's a little daunting. Being successful it can be scary.
You know, many times I wonder if the lack of results may also be a result of the motive for doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, explain that a little further. What's your thought process there?
Say, now there are people who say, I'm going out here to be rich and make $1 million or $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 million. That's what I'm going to do. But, you know, there are other individuals, and I have very close friends of mine who that's not their goal. Their goal is just like my goal, is to take care of their families, take care of their wife. Of course, I've got my wife, we have our son, and I've got six granddaughters, okay? And God bless them, their granddaughters as opposed to daughters, because they're not in my house. He pays everything, you know? I just send the money when I can send the money. But the point is that I want to have something for my wife, take care of her, and something for my son, and maybe bring him in and train him so he can take care of his daughters so that they don't have to worry and struggle and things like that. You see, I've seen that almost every family business, okay, or every business that's gone big was a business that was made, that was there to basically to provide for the family. It just grew ultimately, organically, if you will. But the core purpose was that, as opposed to the guy that's out there saying, oh, I'm going to make $1 million and that's all I'm going to do. All right. They may do that, but at some point, if they don't have a core value that is, for lack of a better word, elevated, so to speak.
Right. Yep.
Then they reach a point where it's, what is it for? Why am I doing this? And they have all the things, but there's a certain emptiness there. Or there are people who just do what they love, and the money just follows.
Which is the best way to do anything.
Yeah.
Have your passion and have your mission. I mean, the first thing whenever I have a new client or new person to coach or talk to, or the first time anyone asks for advice, I'm like, what are your MVCV? What is your mission? What is your vision? And what are your core values? If you don't have those three things, how do you know what your purpose is? How do you know what you're trying to do? How do you know when you succeed? How do you know where your success is? If you don't have your mission and have you achieved your vision? If you don't know it, how have you achieved that? How have you taken care of your family? How do you know that they're set for the next couple of generations? Your mission. I mean, how do you feel good about yourself if you don't even know what you want to do? What's your mission on earth? Do you want to make $10 million and be the guy that does it? Cool. Well, if that's your mission, so be it. Do you want to be spiritually enlightened and know the ins and outs of the top 5 religions? Great. Go do it. But you have to name that mission. Do you want 1,000 friends that call you on your birthday and be the biggest social butterfly? Great. But if you don't name those things, you'll never know. You'll never have an answer. When life's toughest challenges come, you'll be confused. You'll sit back, and inaction, like you said, will be your result.
Very true.
It's very easy to decide what you're going to do if you have your mission and you have your vision and you know what you're striving for. Hey, I want to go help 100 people become 100,000-aires. Let's go do this. How do I do it? Well, we're going to figure that out, but I know that this is the mission. This is what it's going to look like when I'm done, and these are the things that I'm not going to settle for on the way in. Your
Simon Sinek says start with why.
That's another book I'm reading. I have on my bookshelf.
Yeah. It's that's the core thing. The other thing I'll tell you, what I appreciate about you is that you found individuals who could be your support, not just in terms of the sobriety, but also in terms of the business and accomplishing your goals. And now you're turning around to help others to do the same. It's the old African saying is, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And so, I'm an introvert by nature. And so all my life, I've had to be in a situation where I've had to do things on my own. And it wasn't until someone saw me trying to do something, then they said, oh, let me give you a hand, I'll show you what to do. But the idea is that I've had to learn also, hey, I can't do this all by myself. So I need to get the knowledge from those that have it. I also need to get the support from those who have a similar vision. And so that's so important that individuals do that. So again, how do you scope out or screen for individuals who have your vision or who have a vision?
Oh, what a great question. Well, let's go back to the MVCV, right? If you have a very clear mission and a clear vision and clear core values, you will naturally attract people that have those same core values, vision, and mission. So as far as my support, I actually took on a corporate theory and put it in my personal life. So I have a personal board of directors. So I have 3 people that advise me on my spiritual health, 3 people on my financial health, social health, mental health, intellectual health, and physical health. So I have 3 friends, I guess, I do there, and I have meetings with them every month to help keep me going there. So that's how my support group is. How I found them? Well, they're people that I've been attracted to through my show, through social media, people I've followed, et cetera, et cetera. And most of them have the same core values, and surprisingly, most of them are sober as well. Once you go sober, you start relearning. There's a lot more people. There's so many sober people out there. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, every Saturday and Sunday morning, I have a board meeting with one of my board members. We talk for about a half an hour about the last month, and then they kind of, guide me that way. If I find people that are really spiritual oriented and I like their thoughts on spirituality, then I ask them to be on my board. And then every 6 months, I analyze if I want those same people. Maybe I move a couple out because I've already learned everything they had to teach, or maybe we strayed away and I bring someone else on.
What advice would you give young entrepreneurs or individuals who have an entrepreneurial spirit who are facing personal challenges while they're trying to build a successful business?
What advice would I give to young entrepreneurs trying to build a business?
Or not so young entrepreneurs? Considering I still think I'm young. I'm under 1,000.
You're under 1,000. You're young whippersnapper. I hate to beat a dead horse, but I mean the first thing you have to have is your MVCVs. But I would give another piece of advice I'd say is don't be afraid to say no. I know if it's your first business and you're looking for like a line of credit or a loan or something or someone to come in and be an equity partner, if it doesn't feel good or fit your core values, don't be afraid to say no. The classic example is when, was it Google said no to Yahoo? Yahoo offered them like $1 billion or something, and Google said no, and now Google's worth 5 quadrillion or whatever. Just because someone comes in and goes, oh, you have this cool business that's budding, maybe you don't know finance, maybe you're not an accountant, maybe you don't know marketing, maybe you don't know sales, whatever it is, and so you're looking for, maybe another partner to come in or someone to put some money in and do it, but don't be afraid to say no. You do a lot of research on them. If you're about to give up some of your business or deal with someone, make sure you have an exit plan or make sure you have some way to not get caught up. I know so many people start a small business, they're doing well, they're selling, they're this or that, and they're ready to go that next level, and then they have a bad partnership that screws it all. And then they're like, wow, I lost my company, I lost this, I lost that. And I mean, I hear it all the time. People that are like, I used to have this company, but that person robbed it from me. And I'm like, well, did they have a better legal team? Did they have a better understanding? I mean, did they come in with more money? Like, how did they can't really steal it from you if you, unless you give it away. It's very rare that a court will actually sign a judgment saying this is their business now. So usually there's something else that gets in the way there, but don't be afraid to say no. If that person's coming in strong and they don't seem like it's the right fit, tell them to leave. Don't do it.
Are you still working out?
Am I still working out?
Yeah.
Oh, I work out every day.
How many? So I used to ask how much you bench, which is everywhere. Now I say, how many push-ups can you do start to finish?
I don't think I've ever benched since I was like a freshman in college, and I don't go to a gym. I work out at home. In one sitting, I could probably do like 50, 60 push-ups.
I'm grinning. I still got you beat. I feel so good now.
I have a question for you, though. Do you lock your elbow or do you do the Burt Kreischer push-ups?
Yeah. Well, no, I lock my elbows. My elbows.
Okay.
Okay. And then and then when I will do a Dr. Jim Stepani version. So if I find that I'm giving out, I do still give myself about 10-second break. It's called a rest pause, which is not it doesn't complete the set, so I can still do it. But I have gotten to the point now where I can do 100 from start to finish. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's good.
Not too bad for a guy that's 10 years past half a century. So I'm all right.
He's under 1,000.
I'm under 1,000, dude. Well, listen, my man. Austin, you're an incredible guy, and
Henry, you're an incredible guy.
You've helped a lot of people, and you're helping yourself in so many different ways. And it's just beautiful to be kind of living out there in the islands the way you have, but to also to cleanse yourself of the alcohol the way you have, and to continue to move forward the way you do. That's an inspiration in itself. There's so many individuals. Let me ask you this. I have this one question I ask all of my guests, and so I'm going to ask it to you. Austin Martinson, what does it mean to you to crush your mountain?
Well, I'll give you almost two answers. I'm going to give you a short-term mountain I'm going to crush and a long-term mountain that goes with the short-term. Short-term mountain right now is on this island. There is a very big negative view of change, but change is going to have to happen. If we're going to start pulling people out of poverty and getting people off food stamps and getting more and more people financially free, they're going to have to change, and it's going to take a whole community to get together. If we're going to fix the government here and do all the things that everyone wants, roads that work, power that works, it's going to take a lot. And that's a big mountain. Crushing it would be if I can help them sort out their government, sort out their power issues. And I mean, I would love if we could get another 100 to 1,000 people off food stamps, out of poverty, living in their own. That'd be massive. I think the short-term goal would be 100 people. Would be amazing. And then long-term is to develop systems and processes, kind of like what I'm doing small scale, but doing it nationwide. So if I could come up with a system process, school of thought or something, and implement it in different islands or different small communities that could help them lift people out of poverty, that would be the long-term crushed mountain.
Absolutely. That sounds amazing. Well, certainly we wish you the greatest success in your endeavors, sir. And just a shameless plug in terms of our working together. I have the 14-day detox. It's a free service for anybody that wants to make a change for the new year. And if you're listening to this after January 5th, the Facebook group is open, and you can come in, and we have videos there you can watch for each leg of the journey. Okay, but what this is a simple detox program. It doesn't cost anything. You can do it at any time. That allows you to, in 14 days, reset your health. Okay, cleanse your liver, rebuild your gut, and again, get yourself energized for the year to come. Going forward from that, okay, we have something else that's happening in Austin. If you're in the country, you're welcome to come. And that's our Shinrin Yoku event that's happening in Lillington, North Carolina at Raven Rock State Park, where we're going to actually be doing the Shinrin Yoku, which is a forest bathing, forest meditation as a group, to enjoy the environment, to learn from the environment, to reflect on ourselves and our connections to nature, to actually do some movement that's involved in that, to actually do some the meditation that's involved in that, to some grounding, and we'll have some gifts for those that stay until the end as well, including some plant therapy, including some massage. We're going to samples, things like that. But it's going to be an awesome event. And I love it. It's going to be limited to a few people. It's not going to be a lot. So once you see that out there, once you see that, go ahead and click on that link and join up. And finally, Austin and I have been talking, and we're going to give you more information on this. We are thinking in terms of a retreat for those who are looking to reverse their type 2 diabetes, to lower their glucose, and to have it done in a completely different environment. Sometimes you need to move out of it. And the environment is right there that he's pointing to, St. Thomas Virgin Islands. So keep your ears and eyes open for that, because that's going to be a thing coming up. In the meantime, Austin, I want to thank you so much for taking your time. I know you got a lot of stuff going on and everything, and you've got companies to manage and countries to build and people to fly from the airport and all sorts of things going on. So thanks again for hanging out with us. And again, friends, like I always tell you, don't just climb the mountain, crush through it, and we'll see you next time.
I love it. Thank you so much, Henry.
Thanks for watching Crush Your Mountain. If this is of any value to you, if you enjoy the information, if it's even a bit entertaining for you, please like and subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm. Leave a comment. We'd love to know what you think. Whatever content you'd like to see in terms of the directions of this channel, in terms of health, wellness, or personal growth, please drop a line. You can certainly reach me at hanksterog20@gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment. Either way, thanks so much for watching Crush Your Mountain. And like I always say, don't just climb your mountain, crush through it.